For generations, the Hawkesbury River has been home to a thriving oyster industry, and like many other businesses on the river, it depends on a healthy estuary. Since a dramatic collapse brought the industry to its knees, the Hawkesbury Nepean Catchment Management Authority has supported the oyster industry to become leaders in sustainability and river stewardship.
I'm a fourth generation oyster farmer. Used to go up the river with Uncle Cobber and my father and just hold the punt or have a fish off the back deck of the punt. As they say, you got salt water in your veins basically.
It was something we're all very proud of. We're proud to be oyster farmers and very family orientated. They were mostly small businesses, father and son operations, and it was usually handed down over generations.
Oh, I just love growing oysters. Just love it. If you get a break, you go away for a week at the most, and you always remember coming down Joel's Bridge when you first see the river again, and you think, you're home,
We used to pride ourselves in growing a really nice, fat, juicy, plump Sydney rock. A lot of people, that's what they'd done for their whole life. From when they left school, they were oyster farmers and they didn't know any different. 2004, we sort of found unexplained mortality in the oysters, and we sent away oysters to get tested, and the 13th of June 2004 we got advice back that they were infected with the QX disease. From there I still think that we still really didn't believe that this was happening, and but in the following months after that, the devastation in the crop itself was just like the best part of 100%. And for a 6-month period there, it was very, everybody was devastated and really didn't know which way to turn or which, what we were going to do in the future.
When we approached government for an assistance package, I remember sitting down in the shed with Rob, we were writing out placards on the back of corflute, and it's still one of them back at the shed. We were going to march or take a truckload of dead shell into Parliament House and dump it on the steps. But luckily about 8:30 that night we found out that they'd approved the clean-up package. The state government paid us a bounty to remove the material out of the river, $150 per tonne.
We cleaned up 8,000 tonne of disease cultivation and infrastructure out of the river, and when you clean it up out of the river, out of oyster punts and doing most of it by hand and little cranes, and that 8,000 tonne is huge. We
wouldn't have been able to survive and clean the river up without that package. It was, an integral part of our return.
We still knew it was a great place to grow oysters, it's just that you couldn't grow Sydney rock here. So we decided to try to find another breed of oyster what we could grow here, and we settled on the Triploid Pacific because it doesn't get affected by the QX disease.
So the Hawkesbury industry is quite unique in that they've been quite cohesive. 12 producers have got together under the band of Broken Bay Oysters, and we've really seen the effects within the industry on them rebounding after the QX parasite.
Rather than being as individual as what we used to be, we're banded together to more as a group, and we work together as a group to, to achieve our goals.
And that cohesiveness has really allowed them to get to a point where they're able to take on environmental stewardship of the estuaries. And it's really allowed them to get into projects that they probably would not have been able to do had they been individual producers.
We've been doing these, old practices for 100 years, and it's about time we sort of looked at them. We're just trying to lessen our impact and our footprint on the water.
I remember when we used to just put the tar-coated sticks out to catch the oysters down the bottom of the river. No matter how much you dried them out, as soon as you put them in the water, you'd have this tar film that just was like oil, where putting a plastic sleeve over the wood, you don't have to tar the wood in the first place, plus it extends the life of it.
That site behind the depots, it's pretty horrible looking. It's got, it's all full of lantana. There's probably about 3 or 4 acres. It's all got all noxious weeds in there, and our plan is to clean it up and restore it and put natives back there again, and just make the area look a lot better.
We do talks as far as trying to educate the public on, you know, what we can achieve and the importance of good water quality, and you know, if they do dump rubbish in the river, it does impact on us as well. We've got some educational signage over there just for boat users, show them that one little bit of poo does impact on our harvest areas, and in fact that this is a priority harvest area. We can just take oysters out of there this afternoon and theoretically have them in the markets, you know, tomorrow morning or even tonight.
In the last 6 years, the level of cooperation between the industry here on the river and the government departments, both local, state and federal, has been massive, and that cohesion has really shown through in the amount of work being completed on ground.
It's humbling to me that, you know, we have, it feels like you're sort of family now, really, you know. It's, I don't know, I get a bit emotional sometimes thinking about it.
You know, the river's such a beautiful, unique place, and you know, well, priceless, I think. So, yeah, you'd sort of be crazy if you didn't feel a loyalty towards it.